Most high performers don't burn out because they lack drive. They end up burning out because of these silent leaks that they're unable to capture, verbalize, and measure. This diagnostic reveals where you're bleeding power. No matter which archetype you fall within, whether you're leading a business, raising a family, or holding it all together for everyone else, these patterns cost you time, energy, intimacy, and presence. My name is Nick Vonpitt. I coach founders, executives, and high performers, individuals that have built success on paper, but they feel the cracks beneath it. As a strategic advisor, I help both men and women close those leaks that drain their time, their energy, their wealth, their relationships, and their overall capacity to live life to the fullest. What I'm about to share with you today is a mirror. There are 4 archetypes that will reveal to you where you are bleeding power and energy. Chances are you'll see yourself in at least one of them. The first archetype is the scattered operator. This individual is always plugged in, phone in hand, calendar filled up to maximum capacity. Busy all day, but not moving the needle. There's this continuous struggle to be fully present within whatever they're doing, present with their partners, present with their family, present with their kids. And this has a ripple effect on their presence in their team as well. Their busyness may feel like progress, but it's just a disguise for distraction. At home, family, partner is getting the leftovers. In the workspace, their team is feeling their absence. Essentially, when individuals stay and live in this space over time, whatever they are building is built within chaos. There's a lack of presence. There's a lack of connection to the work that they're doing. That creative spark that is typically there, it's not there. It's just this continuous to-do list to move the needle. But they're getting nowhere slowly. It's like chasing your own tail. You might find that you're scaling in revenue, but you're losing respect. And worst of all, and this is something that I've seen in hindsight, is that these individuals end up losing the people that care about them most. And they only see that when it's too late. When you're able to close this leak and focus, presence returns to everything that you're doing. It's as if you're able to get out of your head, back into your body, back into your life, back into your business, back into your relationship, back into how and why you do what you do in the most effective, meaningful way possible. You're able to get more things done in less time. And the net result is your family and the people closest to you actually feels you when you walk through the door. The silent burner. This individual carries stress, resentment, and layers of frustration inside. They typically avoid conflict. There's this nice girl, nice guy archetype at play where they'd rather hold face and people please and experience this chaos and emotional turmoil privately. But that silence might keep the peace outside of you, but inside of you, not so much. It's that whole dance between keeping a strong face in the boardroom and at work, but the minute you get home, you crumble, you fall apart. And there's this need to continuously dissociate when all these emotions, all these things come up, and you might find that you're even taking this out on your partner and your family. These unspoken truths, well, they fester. At work, you might find that your deals stall. At home, intimacy fades. It feels like there's this massive gap between you and your partner and even your kids. Your kids might even notice this continuous tension because of all the unresolved conflict that you're experiencing internally. And if you continue down this track, well, that silence, all those things that you keep to yourself, it becomes distance. Distance from your team, distance from your partner, distance from your family. And you'll find that no one really understands you, nor do they know you. And you feel that. And it's because you've created this massive gap between the lives that everyone else is living and your own. It's easier to maintain that bubble. When this leak is closed, honesty, authenticity, being able to speak your truth alongside regulating your nervous system restores a sense of intimacy within your relationship, within yourself, and presence within your business. The conversations that you have become catalysts, no longer landmines where you're having to tiptoe between all these different things. And your relationships strengthen because you're finally leading from a space of truth and authenticity. The leaking achiever. This individual says yes to everything. Clients, staff, friends, even when they are drained and they have no more energy and capacity to pour into anyone else. People pleasing, overcommitting, prioritizing everyone else's needs above their own. They're often deeply respected by their peers, by their family, but they are resentful of the current life that they're living. So what essentially happens over time is each yes is a no to your legacy. Family gets what's left of you, and your happiness, your joy, the things that really fill up your cup, they're last on the list. You'll get there because everyone else's needs come before your own. What does this lead to? If this is the cycle that you continuously repeat, well, you'll burn out emotionally, spiritually, physically. There'll be signs. You'll have chronic fatigue, you'll be frustrated, you'll feel empty. There'll be this lack of creativity and zest for life. Whatever you're wanting to pursue just doesn't fuel you. Your drive, not there. You'll be that person that's known as reliable, always available. But inside, you will feel hollow, disconnected from yourself and the people that you love, disconnected from your work, disconnected from your craft, disconnected from your purpose. And it's as if you're at this point where all the meaning behind all the things that you're doing doesn't exist. And you feel like you're just on this continuous hamster wheel of servicing everyone else's needs. But when do you make the list? When do you put yourself first? Oh, I'll get there when I've done this or that. Sound familiar? When you're able to close this leak, you reclaim your sovereignty, you reclaim your power, you reclaim your time. And essentially, you're able to set those boundaries that give life back to you. Your yes means something again. Your no means something again. Boundaries end up creating more respect, and you're able to lead your life, your family, your business without resentment. The drained performer. This individual runs hard but never refuels. Rituals, habits, practices are inconsistent. Their recovery is also something that they sacrifice on a continuous basis. Wired but tired, and they are never able to fully replenish themselves. Cup is always empty. What's interesting about this archetype is that everything looks like discipline, but it's slow self-destruction, self-sabotaging behaviors. There's decision fatigue, there's lack of clarity because they're just exhausted. Well, there's this continuous numbness around passion and intimacy. If you stay in the cycle of suffering, there's going to be a crash. Your health, your well-being. When this happens, everything wobbles. Your entire empire is at a standstill. All the things that you've poured yourself into, all the people you've poured yourself into, all the dreams, the desires, and the things that you're seeding just doesn't come to fruition. And you collapse. There's also this sense of joy that really just disappears. When you're able to actually close this leak, you'll find that your practices and your rituals aren't just performative. They mean something to you. They are tied and likened to your blueprint. It's something that you enjoy, something that primes you in your day. And it gives you the bandwidth and capacity to show up. It's no longer this to-do list function. It is something that ties into your natural rhythm. It's your strategy. Your life, your business, everything involving you becomes sustainable. And that makes you far more powerful. These archetypes aren't fixed identities. They're just mirrors emphasizing where you're leaking energy, where you're leaking focus, where you're leaking power. So the question is, will you keep bleeding power? Well, are you going to choose to close them? If you're ready to move fast and to refine, to align, and to empower yourself and get ahead, of this cycle of suffering, apply with the application link below. If we're a good fit, we'll set up a private call for 30 minutes to 45 minutes and explore what it looks like working together and take it from there. If you want to start seeing the full framework, I invite you to watch the full masterclass where we dive into the exact shifts that both men and women can make to reclaim their power, presence, and purpose. Either way, don't walk away from this because leaks don't close themselves. And it's clear if you're watching this, you might be leaving a lot of your potential, your capacity, and your genius on the table. You can make the shift.